Yes, people. How are we all doing? Welcome one, welcome all back to the channel for just a bit of a general sit down chat sort of thing. Not going to be a long one, probably like 40, 45 minutes. I just want to talk through some things, figure out some of the problems and the solutions at Liverpool and probably where the future lies at the football club. Especially when it comes to the summer transfer window, there's going to be a lot of interesting developments and plays that we're going to have to look at and positions that we're going to have to buy in the summer. And I feel that as the sort of Amarim guy in this Liverpool YouTube scene, I probably should put my hat in the ring in regards to who we should sign and what positions that's going to be needed for. But if you're new and you're not already, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any more content. Before we get to anything Amarim based and anything about the future of the football club, let's start off with the presence of the football club, and that is Liverpool are 3 games without a win, 2 losses and a draw. Defense is wide open, attack is missing loads of chances. How do we fix it? Because we've got a big game on Thursday. We're going to need one of our great performances under Klopp if we want to get through this Europa League tie against Atalanta. We're gonna have to be pretty faultless, and for that to happen, we're gonna have to make sure we're picking the right starting 11 and playing the right way. And for me, if you want to address the goal scoring problem at the minute, it's easy. We do not have anyone in that attack in good form. No one in that attack is in good form at the minute. They're all on an nth degree in bad form. Some are in worse than others. Some are in best than others, but none of them are in good form. When your attack is not in good form and is missing chances and you need to score goals, you do not pick the forwards who mainly rely on form, i.e. your Nunez's and your Diaz's of this world. You don't pick them because ultimately, unless this is the game in which they turn around their form, which you can't bet on, they're going to let you down again in the big moments when needs must sort of thing. So with that being the case, I said it yesterday on Hassan's stream. I've been saying it for about a week now. You have to play your best footballers. And for Liverpool, our best footballers are Salah on the right, Jose in the middle, and Gakpo on the left. That's the best front three. Give me a minute. That's the best front three. Ultimately, Jose, I'd like him to be a little bit more fit, but needs must in certain scenarios. So I have to have Jota up top. If I can't have Jota up top, I've kind of unfortunately then got to put Gakpo in the middle and put Nunez on the left. Even though I don't think that's the position that gets the best out of Gakpo, you kind of have to because that's the best front three that works without Jota in. But ultimately, I just, at this point in time, don't see a spot for Diaz when we need to score goals. Diaz isn't clinical in front of goal, and his creativity is by far the worst out of the 5 attackers. So what does he offer that front three when we're chasing goals? That's the $1 million question. What's he offer that front three when we're chasing goals and we're trying to close down and we're trying to score 3 or 4 a game? He doesn't offer us enough. That's the square. That's the basic problem. That's the square root of the problem that we run into there. So he can't be in it. Gakpo on the left has been our best player in the attack in the last 2 games. Even when the team's playing bad, he turns up. And you can see when he's out on the left, he's got a quality delivery. He can beat his man. He looks an all-round threat. And should he get a full 90 minutes, you might be able to see him start getting some shots off as well. And if you go look back at his time at PSV when he was playing off the left, his quality of shot and his quality in the final third when he was at PSV cutting in off the left into the middle. He hit some ridiculously good shots. He was scoring some ridiculously good goals that I need to see that at least trialed at Liverpool a little bit. I need that at least trialed. So then we're back at the square root of the problem again. So we've got Salah, who's a net starter. Gakpo, who I believe should start up front. Nunes can't play because, like we've established, when you're chasing goals, when you're trying to get these wins, you ultimately need your best finishers and your best players. And Nunes is a guy who, in front of goal, relies on form. When he was in good form earlier on this season, around about January, February time, a lot of what he was hitting, a lot of the shots he was taking were just finding the back of the net. For no rhyme or reason, really, but they would just find the back of the net. He'd never been that clinical before. But they would just, he would hit, first time volleys or shots from outside the box and they'd find the back of the net. We're not at that point with him now. We're back at a, more traditional point of he is struggling for form and he needs to play through it. But we, at this point in time, cannot afford for him to be in bad form because, like I've established, we need to score goals. We need to score lots of goals to win games, especially if the defense isn't performs at the same level in terms of being as defensively solid as it has been in the past. You need to have a higher sort of. You need players who you trust in front of goal. We also then need to create more. We create a lot of chance already, but you need to. There's two ways you can go about it. I break it down like this: you can either play your best footballers in attack and create the same amount of chances you do now, or in your midfield, in your defense, you put in all your creators and have Diaz and Nunes up top and hope that by virtue of creating 8 or 9 big chances, you score as many as you need. That, to me, isn't going to work at this point in time. So ultimately, I don't see a world where anyone can argue about not having a front three of Salah, Jota, Gakpo. That is the best front three. That is the highest quality front three. That is the front three that gives you the best chance of winning the football match and scoring the goals that you need to win the football matches. Defensively, that's a spot that we need to definitely look towards the manager at, because defensive structure is a tactical based thing and it is a manager based thing. But I also think that there's time for a couple of uncomfortable conversations, especially around Ibu Konate, in the sense that I don't believe Ibu Konate is necessarily Jurgen Klopp's first choice centre back alongside Van Dijk. I think what Quansah gives, even though Quansah made the mistake against United, what Quansah gives is quality on the ball and a sense of control from the back, which Konate doesn't. Konate is a very good defender, a very good reactive defender. Konate is the kind of guy you want at the back against the likes of your Arsenals or your Cities of this world. But when you're attacking teams, when it's on you to have the impetus, when it's on you to put the pressure on the opposition, you need players who have quality on the ball, who can pass through lines and who can bring the ball forwards. And in an ideal world, that's Matip. But obviously, Matip's out for the season. So you have to go to your second best bet, and that is Quansah. That's Quansah. I mean, to be honest, it's Gomez, but I don't know how good Gomez is defensively at centre back anymore, especially as he's been playing fullback a lot this season. Beyond that, though, it is Quansah. That's what you need to turn to and look at as the option that I think Jurgen Klopp might start turning to a little bit more often. So if you have Quansah there, you have Van Dijk there, that is a centre-back partnership that can sustain pressure better. That is a centre-back partnership that can sort of maintain a higher sort of line um because of their quality overall. You're not going to see them rushing passes. You're not going to see them giving the ball away when trying to progress. You're going to see us get sustained a little bit more. And even though I don't necessarily agree with it, the style of attack that we do, where you pass around the back, waiting for the spaces to open up in front of you, that will last longer and that will be more effective when you have someone of the ilk of Quansah and Van Dijk there who can maintain those levels. Right back wise, we desperately need Trent. Obviously, Conor Bradley's now out injured for the next 3 weeks, so it's probably going to be Trent and then Gomez coming off the bench. And in that case, you best hope that Trent Alexander-Arnold is able to impact that game in them 60 minutes he gives you. When you get Trent back, you get ball progression back. Ball progression has been a big problem for us this season. Ball progression comes in 2 ways with Liverpool. Ball progression comes through either long passes or driving forward with the ball. Liverpool have the long passing in Van Dijk and they have the long passing in Trent. They have the ball progression in Robertson and in Szoboszlai, and at points this season, Curtis Jones. Jones is no longer doing that, so you can't rely on him. So you're looking then at Szoboszlai and you're looking at Robertson. Both you basically need as many of your progressors on the pitch against Atalanta as possible. You need as many of them on the pitch as possible because you've got to get forward and you've got to create as many chances as possible. The emphasis is on you to score. The emphasis is on you to put the pressure on them. Being in the final third is that. So, if you were to ask me for my starting 11 for Atalanta, it would be Alisson in goal, Trent at right back, Quansah, Van Dijk, Robertson, McAllister, Elliott, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota, Gakpo. And to be honest, apart from Everton and Villa away, and maybe Fulham away, that's the team I would go for in every other game as well. That's the team I'd go for because that is the team that has the highest quality. That's the team that can win the most games. What we need to do now is just win games. We need to win games. We need to stop fucking around in the final third, and we just need to get the job done and get over the line in certain cases. So the only change I would make when you play in Everton or the Villa is Wataru Endo comes in because you need someone a little bit more combative in nature. You need someone a little bit more defensive in nature. Just to ensure that you don't lose the midfield battles against very physical midfields. Elliott's very good creatively, but then in the physical battles, you do sometimes see him lose them. So that's the spot where you don't want to see Elliott. Beyond that, he should be playing because he is young. He's incredibly creative and he's played so well that he deserves a run of games to start. Even when he did have a run of games starting earlier on this season when Salah was out injured, he was very good. All these things have to be considered. Right, I want to address this. Because this is a narrative I've seen a lot recently. 18-19 running. I just want to go make sure that I'm checking the stats. 18-19 running. Bear in mind, that season, Salah got 22 goals and 8 assists as a whole. He finished as the Premier League top goal scorer. You know, he done his job across the season. But in the running for that season, 18-19, right there. So what are we classing as the running? We classing the running as the final 10 games? Should we class the running as the final 10 games? In the final 10 games in the Premier League, Mohamed Salah got 5 goals and 1 assist. 5 goals and 1 assist. That's not bad. Especially when you have to bear in mind the way that Salah played the year beforehand meant that from 18-19 onwards, he was the one being marked out of games by opposition. He was the one being double teamed by the opposition. 21-22. This is the one that really grinds my gears. Everyone says he didn't turn up in that run. Mohamed Salah in the running of 21-22 made 9 appearances. Made 9 appearances and got where is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 GA. 7 GA. He assisted against City. He scored against Brighton. He scored 2 and got an assist against United. He assisted the opener against Everton. And he scored the winner against Wolves. And against Newcastle, he came off the bench. Against Villa, he came off the bench. So if we go to his starts, because bear in mind he was getting rotated a lot in the back end of that season. We go back to his starts. He started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He actually only started 10 games in the second half of the season after AFCON, Salah. In those starts, he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 GA. 10 GA in 10 starts. 10 GA in 10 starts. That's not bad. That's a goal or assist every game. That's a goal or assist every game. You take that out of your attacker. You take that. 100% you take that. Especially when you consider that there was a change in that front three and Diaz was getting given the ball more and Mane was now up front. So Salah was effectively relegated to touchline winger. That was the first time we were seeing touchline winger Salah. That was the first time we were seeing it. The idea that his run-ins are poor is just wrong. This sound that you'd hope for ever so slightly more, but you've got to consider the context around it. Let's bear in mind as well that I'll always say this about the Mane. Mane turned up more in run-ins because Mane never really turned up at the start of the season. We would only ever be in the positions we were in for Mane to turn up in the run-in because Mo Salah carried you through the first half of the season. Hence why in 21-22, everyone said he didn't turn up in the running just because he had one of the greatest first halves of a season ever in Premier League history. Ever. It doesn't make sense. And if you want to just relegate Mo Salah down to run-ins, I think that is a horrendously poor way of looking at it. Go look at him in big games as a whole. As a whole in big games, let me just double check it. I do, Gino. I do. Where is it? It was Stats Muse. There we go. Most GA against the Big Six all time. The most GA against the Big Six in Premier League history. Shearer has 75 in 129 matches. Rooney has 59 in 135 matches. Giggs has 59 in 170. Mo Salah has 54 in 69. 54 and 69. Do you know how mental that is? I think if I just look here, 54 and 69 or 47. The only player with a better GA ratio against the Big Six is Thierry Henry. That's the only player. That is the only player. 54 GA against the Big Six. And even if we go to this season, let's just put ourselves right back to this season. I'm going to take all of you back to Manchester United. Not Manchester United, to Newcastle United on January 1st. The game before Mo Salah left for AFCON. Mo Salah at that point in time was the Premier League top goal scorer, the Premier League top assister, and the pretty much unanimous Premier League player of the season. Since that time, he's been injured and he's out of tournaments. Even then, if we go back to it, Mane's not better than Salah. That's why If Mane was better than Salah, why is Mane playing in Saudi? So Salah, since AFCON, has played 6 games, got 3 goals and an assist, all while carrying injury. All while carrying injury. I can explain. I don't want to, but I will do. I will break down why Salah's better than Mane. I have no problems breaking that down. If we want to talk about, you know, what Sadio Mane was at the football club, Sadio Mane was fantastic at the football club. Sadio Mane was fantastic at the football club, but Salah was better. I mean, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do it right now. Bear in mind, I love Sadio Mane, but I'm not having the notion that he's better than Salah because he's not. He's simply not. Mohamed Salah in 17-18 had 32 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League. 32 goals and 10 assists. 32 and 10. Let's bear in mind, 32 and 10. That was the most goals in a 38-game season until Haaland came. And he added 10 assists on top of that. If we go to 17-18 for Sadio Mane, 10 goals, 7 assists. 10 goals, 7 assists. 10 goals, 7 assists. Woo! 10 goals. He got 10 in the Champions League and 1 assist. Salah got 10 and 5 assists. Salah ended that season with over double the amount of goals and almost double the amount of assists. That's one season. 18-19. 18-19. Salah had 27 and 10. Mane had 26 and 4. 27 and 10, 26 and 4. Which one's better? Salah had more goals in the Champions League as well on a season that we went and won it. 19-20. I think this is the season that I give Mane over Salah. Mane in 19-20. Big player. Big player. 18 goals, 7 assists. Salah had 19 goals, 10 assists. So Salah again outscored Mane. Even though I would say Mane probably gets that one. Salah outscored him and out-assisted him again. In the Champions League, outscored and out-assisted them again. Three seasons in a row. Now we go to 2021. 2021. This season, you know, this was the year where we had no centre-backs. This is where you want your big players to turn up and bail you out. Mohamed Salah ended the season with 31 goals and 6 assists. Mane ended the season with 16 and 8. 16 and 8. That's the year Mane got the most assists for Liverpool. And it's because Salah had to get fucking 22 goals in the league alone. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. 21-22. 21-22. Sadio Mane, 23 goals, 4 assists. Mohamed Salah, 31 goals and 15 assists. That is, if I just get my math right, yes, over 3 times the amount of assists that Sadio Mane got, and more goals. So every single season, people, every single season, Mohamed Salah outperformed Sadio Mane when it came to GA. Every single season. Even if I really want to be shameless and go, when Mane went to Bayern, an easier league, at the best team in that league. At the best team in that league. Salah outscored him for a shit Liverpool team. This year, Sadio Mane's been after Saudi, a piss poor league. Salah's outscored him and out-assisted him. So on what basis we doing big games? Because Salah's got more GA against the top 6 than Mane does. We're doing finals. Mane has 1 goal. 1 goal in finals. Salah has 1 goal in finals. That's level with me. Well, yeah, yes, Andrew, because the job of an attacker is to score goals and get assists. That is the job of an attacker. To score or assist. Numbers. That's what it is. And when we look at Salah this year, Salah's numbers are so horrendously disparaged because that motherfucker has had Darwin Núñez missing about 5 big chances a game. And if we want to go down, the thing that always gets me, people go, "Oh, Mane was more clutch than Salah." Our best moments under Jurgen Klopp was that Champions League. In 2018-19. That for me will always stand there because it was the first one you won and the manner in which you won it. But in that season, I need to take you all the way back to match week 6 of the group stage. Liverpool faced Napoli at home. And we needed to win either 1-0 or by 2 clear goals. We need to win 1-0 or like 3-1, 4-2. Liverpool go 1-0 up. Mo Salah skins Koulibaly, scores. Mo Salah then puts not 1, not 2, but 3 absolute gilt-edged chances on a plate for Sadio Mane. Sadio Mane missed. And Alisson had to bail it out with a ridiculous save. All things considered, that's a clutch game for Salah. Big 6 games, they're clutch games for Salah. Why are we acting like Mo Salah was nothing without Mane? Mane was good. Mane was exceptional. I loved Sadio Mane. At Liverpool. I thought he was an electric winger. So direct, so pacey, so strong. A perfect physical guy for you on that left wing. But he was, and never will be, better than Mohamed Salah. If you were to ask me, hand on heart, how I rank that front 3, Salah 1, Bobby 2, Mane 3rd. They were all exceptional. But Mane sits at the bottom for me. Mane was brilliant, but Mane sits at the bottom. You cannot understate what Mohamed Salah's done. Why are we acting like we're going to see another Mohamed Salah for Liverpool anytime soon? Mohamed Salah is about a year away from sitting on the same table as Thierry fucking Henry. You know, the unanimous Premier League GOAT. Mohamed Salah is about a year away from having the same amount of goals, the same amount of assists. If he turns up in the final 5 games of the season or next year, same amount of golden boots, same amount of Premier. I think he's already got more Premier League Player of the Years or something. He's already passed Thierry Henry in certain metrics. Why are we discrediting what he's done? Why are we constantly trying to beat Mohamed Salah with a stick and try and understate what he's done? It's horrendous. Like I just don't get it. I don't get it. Either you're a rival running agendas, which I can't stop, or you're just clueless. Why are you trying to discredit what Mohamed Salah's done for this football club? We would not have achieved any of what we achieved without him. He was not carried. You don't have the 4th most GA against the Big 6 by being carried. You don't. The math don't math. Math don't math. You don't win 3 golden boots. You don't win 3 golden boots by being carried. You don't win a Playmaker Award by being carried. You don't win 2 Player of the Years by being carried, do you? That's not what happens. You don't do all that if you're getting carried. So what? This is what causes half of the Mane hate and what causes half these toxic debates. I've seen people on Twitter going, "Oh, I wish we had Sadio Mane back." If you could give me the 1920 Mane back, I'd take him 100% in a heartbeat. But let's be real, we don't have time machines. Do I want current day Sadio Mane, the man who's just cracked 10 goals in the Saudi League? No. The man who's caused more drama than he's had good performances recently? No. I don't want that one back. We got rid of the right one at the right time. That's the matter of fact. You look at what Salah's done since. You look at what Mane's done since. We made the correct decision. I've never said he was a one-man army, but in the same breath, Hazard was not a one-man army, and neither was Sanchez. Eden Hazard had Diego Costa up top. Eden Hazard had players like Fabregas behind him. Eden Hazard was not a one-man army. Eden Hazard was the best player in that team. He was the best player in that team. But it wasn't a one-man army. People seem to act like he had to play with Morata every single year. Eden Hazard had some fantastic teammates at Chelsea. Had some fantastic teammates at Chelsea. He was part of some fantastically good teams there. Teams which had some of the best players in the league at the time. Let's not act like it. Sanchez had Mesut Ozil. Sanchez is the bigger arguments, but then again, Sanchez won fuck all. So what we doing? I don't get it. People act like what Mo Salah's done is normal. When Mo Salah leaves this football club, you will never see another winger, at least for 20, 30, maybe even 40 years, have the same level of output that he does. Never. And people trying to say, oh, well, it's the right time to sell him now. Back in January, no one was saying that. Back in January, all that was being said about Mo Salah was Premier League Player of the Year. Premier League Player of the Year. He's going to win another one. He's going to carry us to the league. This, that, and the other. Through no fault of his own, we're now trying to sit there and go, he's washed, he's finished, get rid of him. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, man. This is the part that I don't like. Fans can be so reactionary. Salah has won plenty of games on his own, Andrew. He's won plenty of games on his own. Let's be real now. Like I just said, the man has the most GA out of any active player against the Big Six. He has the fourth most GA out of any player of all time against the Big Six. Going on that basis, he single-handedly won some games for Liverpool. Single-handedly. You want an example, right? Yeah. Let me go to Roma Roma in the semi-final of the Champions League in 17-18. Mo Salah gets 2 goals and 2 assists as we win 5-2. You take away Mo Salah, we lose 2-1. And that was a Champions League semi-final. A competition a stage in the competition that Eden Hazard probably never really played in. But we'll ignore that. We'll ignore that comment. What else is there? What else is there? If you want, I'm not going to include like Leeds or Watford or anything. I'm on about big games, but I can include like when he scored 4 against Watford, or when he got a hat trick on the opening day against Leeds. And if you take that away, we lose games. Napoli at home in the Champions League. Napoli at home in the Champions League. City at home in the Champions League. What else is there? Arsenal at home in 1920, third game of the season. Big games where he's turned up and won us them. There's other games which he's turned up and single-handedly dragged us to points in. I.e. Man City at home in the league and Man City away in the league countless times. Last year, he scored the only goal as Liverpool beat Man City and was the best player as Liverpool beat Man City. Chelsea 18-19. There's countless games which Salah has been the man of the match in and dragged us to a winning. Let's not try and rewrite history about him. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind. People like to romanticize Eden Hazard like he didn't go a full year without scoring a goal. Salah will only get the credit he deserves when he retires. He'll only get the credit he deserves when he retires. That's the sad thing. But this stream's went off. I was going to talk about Amarim and stuff, but I can run through now real quick just before we go. The signings that I think Liverpool are going to make this season, at the end of the season, I think you'll see a couple of shock departures. Hold on. I can't even do it. How the fuck is Mo Salah not a Premier League legend? How is he not a Premier League legend? Right, so the most Premier League Golden Boot winners. The most Premier League Golden Boot winners. Thierry Henry has 4. Salah has 3. Salah has the second most Golden Boots of all time. He's not a Premier League legend. Player of the seasons. Thierry Henry has 2. Ronaldo has 2. Salah has 2. He's a Premier League legend. Let's not take the piss here. He's not. Yeah, you're right. He's not on the same level as Ronaldo. He's a higher level than Ronaldo. Amram's son wants him to stay at Sport, and it's done. De Zerbi it is. I have confidence that Amram's going to come to Liverpool, and I have complete confidence that De Zerbi will not be coming to Liverpool. I've been told things about De Zerbi that make me know that he's not going to come to Liverpool. So, signings-wise, I think you're definitely going to see at least 2 centre-backs be brought in the summer. Obviously, you've got massive departing and with the transition to a back 3. You're definitely going to see at least 2 come in. I think that the likes of William Pacho from Frankfurt, Inacio, Hinchcapié, Arthur Theat, they're all going to be names that are going to be considered. I also think that the likes of Murillo from Forest are going to be names that have to be seen on the shortlist. But I certainly see at least two players coming in for that left centre back spot. Left wing back, the likes of Milos Kerkez and Ryan Aït-Nouri are going to be considered for that spot. I will tell you why you should write off Tuchel. Michael Edwards came back to the football club on the basis that Michael Edwards gets to run the football club. Michael Edwards came back to the football club on the basis that he gets to run the football club. Michael Edwards left the football club in the first place because he was getting usurped by the manager when it came to recruitments and when it came to making the decisions in terms of who to buy and how much to pay and this, that, and the other. Michael Edwards is not going to come back just for the club to hire a manager who wants to do that same thing, which is usurp the director of football and buy his players. Thomas Tuchel wants to do that. De Zerbi wants to do that. That is not going to happen at Liverpool. Okay? So write Tuchel off. Write fucking De Zerbi off. Write anyone else off who's got such strong ideas on recruitments that they want to be fucking director of football and coaching one. They're off the shortlist. Job done. Yep. And you're just a fraud again. Well done. Adebayo, I see in the comments there. I was on about Adebayo last summer. I think that he is a fantastic option. If you can get him on a free, I think there's also the Bournemouth fella who, like, if you get him on a free, he's English as well. It fits the homegrown quota. I certainly think we're going to be looking at a DM this summer. And I wouldn't be shocked if we're shopping very much in Portugal for that DM. It will probably be one of Hajulman or Varela. I know people like Joao Neves, but we're not going to pay that release clause of 100 million. So look at either Alan Varela or look at Morten Hajulman. They're the two. And I don't know about an attacker because I feel that with Fabio Carvalho coming back, he might have a part to play. And that might just stop us buying an attacker. Oh, yeah, it would be so good with the man who's won it fucking once. Oh, yeah. Let's have a look at Thomas Tuchel's Champions League history. So, Tuchel made the quarters, the round of 16, the final, won it, semis, quarters. Woo! In fact, no, we didn't even reach the quarters with Chelsea. He weren't there. So, all that man has done is reach quarterfinals and win it once and lose a final with PSG in the year where the Champions League lost all credibility because it went to a one-round knockout. So that one's fucking irrelevant. So all that man's done is win one. He's won one and reached quarterfinals. I can't wait to get to the quarterfinals next year. Woo! Yeah! That's what's worth it. The quarterfinals of the Champions League. I don't want to win it. I want to get to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. The quarterfinals of the Champions League. Woo! Get in there. That's where we want to go. We don't want to win it. We want to get to the quarterfinals because that's all that man does. He reaches quarterfinals, round of 16, semi-finals, quarterfinals, 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 quarter fucking finals. Is that where we want to go as a club? Quarterfinals of the Champions League and no league title. Woo! Yeah! Success! We caused dressing room rifts. We caused drama in the boardroom. All for some Champions League quarterfinals that we could get under pretty much fucking any manager. Jurgen Klopp made fucking 3 Champions League finals. And you want to replace him? You want to replace him with a man who's made fucking 2, one of which was fraudulent, and just hit quarterfinal after quarterfinal after quarterfinal. Woo! We get to be in the last stage of the Champions League. Yeah! Get in there. Miss me with it, man. Come on, let's be serious now. Let's be serious, man. Fucking Tuchel. Oh, mate. It doesn't even align with what we want to do. It doesn't even align with what we want to do as a football club. Let's look at how Tuchel plays. How the fuck do you think half our players fit with him? How do you think the dressing room reacts to him? It's just... Ugh. Big ups, Nathan. Hey, Tom, do you rate Kamara? I would love him. Boubacar Kamara for Villa was someone I really wanted until he done his ACL. At that point, I couldn't... At that point, it was just a case of... Can't risk it. Let's have a look at the other one, Niko Kovac. That's another name that's been mentioned. Niko Kovac. People want to fucking mention Niko Kovac. Fucking Niko Kovac. Let's have a look at Niko Kovac, eh? All of Niko Kovac's stats. All of them. Right, so the man was... The man has won 1 Bundesliga with Bayern, 2 DFB Pokals, and a German Super Cup. He's a fucking bang average manager who has no pedigree in Europe. Let's see what he's done in Europe, actually. Let's see what he's done in Europe. What did he do in Europe? Right. He's done 1 season in the Champions League. He's had 1 season in the Champions League. That is who he wants. 1 season in the Champions League. We want to compete at the very top level, at the top, at the best of the best. And we want a manager who got to the round of 16 with Bayern. That was it. Got to the round of 16. He got knocked out of Champions League qualifying with fucking Monaco. Kovac got sacked from Bayern because he was that shit. That same squad went on to win a sextuple. But that's the standard of manager we want. Who else is there? Come on, people. Throw all the names out at me. Who else do people want as the manager? Who else do people want as the manager? Fucking hell. Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick was a fucking assistant for years. Hansi Flick was just a fucking assistant. He's a glorified assistant. He managed the best Bayern team of years. And when he got to Germany, was shit. And we've seen that Germany can do stuff now. Germany under Nagelsmann look fucking good. Germany under Hansi Flick look horrendous. No. Hansi Flick was a flash in the pan. He's also older than fucking Klopp. I want a younger manager. Motta. Thiago Motta. Oh my god. Thiago Motta. Are we serious now? Thiago Motta. How long's he been a fucking manager for? He's been a manager for. Oh my god! 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 We want to hire a manager. We want to hire a manager who's had one good fucking year. We want to hire a manager who has had one good fucking year. You want to replace the greatest manager in our club's Premier League history with a guy who couldn't even get a point per game at fucking Spezia. Managed Spezia for 1.5 seasons and couldn't even get an average of a point per game. Miss me with it, man. Miss me with it. Jose. The man's fucking. I love Jose Mourinho. The man's washed. The man's washed. Fucking Sebastian Hoeneß. Yeah, he's had a good season with fucking Stuttgart. He's had a good season with Stuttgart. What had he done before that? Oh, he was the fucking manager of Hoffenheim when they were getting 1.42 points per game. 1920. Was that when fucking Nagelsmann joined? Was he Nagelsmann's replacement? He was Nagelsmann's replacement. Was worse than Nagelsmann. Got sacked. Couldn't get a job for the year. And has had one good season at fucking Stuttgart. You want to replace Jurgen Klopp with a guy who's had one good season with Stuttgart. I go through all these managers here. I go through all these fucking managers. And you compare them to what Amorim has done. 4 years of success. 4 years competing at the top. Consistency. None of these managers have consistency. None of them. I need someone who I can trust. That's what Amorim is. Not a guy who's had one good fucking year in his career. No, that's too big a gamble. Do you know the last time we hired a manager who had one good year in his career? Fucking Brendan Rodgers. That went well, didn't it? Woo! Character. Intensity. The boys played hard. Blah, 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 blah. Bollocks. I've had enough, man. I've had enough. We're doing fucking meaty manager talk. Horrendous manager talk here. I'm just waiting, biding my time for the Amorim announcement. He's coming. We have to get him over the line. There's fucking no one else. There is no one else. We have to get it over the line with him. Gosh, just... I mean, if we don't get Amorim, I'll go watch golf. I'll go watch golf, mate. I'll go watch golf. Fucking the names that I've just seen there. We want to replace Jurgen Klopp with that. People worry about fucking, is Amorim going to garner the respect of the dressing room? Is fucking Sebastian Hoeneß going to? Fucking Thiago Motta? Come on, man. I'm going to call it there, people. I'm going to call it there. Let me just set this up. We're going to, is it this one? This one. No, I wouldn't take the Zerbi. The Zerbi's shit. We're going to redirect over to Hassan, people. Get in the live chat. Stay here. You'll go over to Hassan. He's doing title talk with LB, LB and Northside. Go put in the chat that, I've sent you and that he's a fraud. I'll be back probably tomorrow night for a match reaction to the Atalanta game, whether we go through or not. I'm going to love yous, leave yous in a bit, to raw people, to raw.